Oh boy, it looks like deep state, shadowy, secretive government agencies are now finally being held account for some of their worst atrocities ever that we've heard of. As of course, there's still a lot more that we're not hearing, as Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna very bravely just launched MK Ultra hearings. Now, this is extremely important, especially with news reports coming in of the CIA taking back some of the files that have yet to make public light. What are they hiding? What's really in them? As of course, we just got new revelations about Charles Manson and Jack Ruby here that I think are worth paying attention to, as the conspiracy theorists are once again very much right, and the truth probably gets a lot more sinister, as of course we're going to be speculating here just how bad it is with this type of mind control program that we're going to be talking about in this particular video. If you appreciate that, subscribe, click the notification button. We greatly appreciate all the time that you guys spend with us. As of course, the CIA now has multiple controversies. Now they have private entities and companies that do their bidding. But there was a time where there was actual hearings and there was actual records released about their heart attack guns, about their mind control programs, about their domestic spying, about psychological operations, about extraordinary rendition, major security failures, counterintelligence failures, human rights concerns and issues, overthrowing democratically elected leaders, pushing the corporatocracy, running guns, drugs for international crime syndicates, and the recruitment of Germans from the 1930s, as of course they have been known for covering up more than just that. That's the stuff that they got caught for. They still lied to Congress multiple times and have yet to be held responsible for those actions. As of course, the closest we're coming, they did a weird DNA thing with Osama bin Laden too, allegedly, if you believe that official version of events here. But my goodness, golly gracious, the controversies of the CIA are very numerous. As for the first time since 1977, Congress has convened and decided to have hearings about MK Ultra, as a House Oversight Committee is now investigating the long classified federal secrets of the CIA with its controversial mind control MK Ultra program, a Cold War era project that explored mind control, and they did it in multiple ways. They did it by torturing people, helping them break up their personalities, splitting them up, using specific code words to activate that. They used LSD. They used other forms of narcotics and highly illegal drugs. Sometimes unsuspecting American civilians were just given a whole bunch of LSD. And the government was like, what's going to happen to this guy? Oh, he jumped out of the window. Oh. Oopsie daisy. And that's the stuff they got caught for. As of course, they were looking at behavior modification. As I was watching this hearing today, we're going to be playing clips of those hearings and connecting the dots on some big things here. As of course, one of the first admissions in Congress that came out from Bluebird through Ultra was the revelation that this began after Germans from the 1940s from Germany, who were experimenting and doing some really awful stuff, were imported into the United States through Project Paperclip. The Soviets did a very similar thing, especially when it came to rocket technology. Some people even speculate that the Germans were working on saucer propulsion type of technology as well. And then ever since the 1940s, we have seen these type of UFO saucer-like objects, which some people connect the dots on. But Operation Paperclip took a lot of hardened, crazy, insane people that did a lot of extraordinarily cruel type of experiments and said, hey, guys, you're with us now. We'll keep you safe here. And of course, they were never held accountable for some of their kind of illegal human experimentation. And the CIA was like, hey, now do that to the American people. And they're like, you bet. Let's do it. As, of course, a lot of this also, according to a lot of speculation, revolves hurting of children. Wouldn't surprise me, especially since the brain is being formed in adolescence. And the CIA probably, with some of their crazy doctors, probably from scenes very similar to The Boys, with Vought and some of their experimentation, probably were like, yeah, why not? As of course, I think they have an offshoot show called Campus V where they have young kids. As of course, young minds developing can be altered and changed and split into different personalities. As I bet that's probably some of the documentation that was stolen from Tulsi Gabbard. As of course, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna says, what does the CIA, Germans from 1940, and the Nuremberg trials all have in common? MK Ultra. As now there is testimony from whistleblowers that the CIA took JFK and MK Ultra files from Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard's office. Agents hauled out dozens of boxes, files on the JFK assassination.
Now, there was some reporting that was incorrect here. Timeline was a little bit off, and there was false reports about this. But it looks like the initial report was true. CIA walked in and they said, yeah, these MK Ultra JFK files, we got to take them from you. As of course, this administration did a JFK file release, which was another cover-up. As of course, I know many people close to it that were expecting some major bombshells to drop that never dropped. What a shame. What a pity. Now, before playing the rest of this clip and getting into Charles Manson, Jack Ruby, and Joe Rogan connecting the dots here on this bigger conspiracy unfolding here, just really quickly, check out TakeCom.com. I'm super proud of this product. We don't have much of it left. Get it while supplies last. I love this stuff. I have it in my car. I have it in my go bag. I have it in my office. I have it by my bed. Why? I used to have like really bad like panic attacks and like freakouts. And I was like, what the hell's going on? It's like I'm having a heart attack. I don't know what the hell's going on. Obviously, I had a lot of bad habits, especially when it came to not taking care of my sleep, being stressed, working, traveling a lot, nonstop, eating just crap, and just working nonstop, right? I still work nonstop, but I changed a lot of my habits where I focus on my sleep. And then when it comes to oral health, I had a lot of problems with that. And vitamin D and our CBD tincture, Take Calm, has helped me out tremendously with that. There's a lot of anti-inflammatory benefits for that. But also the main thing that it helped me in the crux moment was with anxiety and mood. I was dealing with a lot of heavy stuff. I was like, I just took some CBD. It helped me relax, right? I did a prayer, I did a meditation. It helped me out. It helps with inflammation. It helps with pain relief. It helps with sleeps. It helps a lot of people who deal with a lot of serious stuff. Now, there's a lot of fake stuff on the market. You're like, I'll just get the stuff from the gas station or Amazon. Not the same. This is grown in America. I've tested products for over 2 years. I was like, because I was looking for the good one. And once it helped me out, I was like, this stuff's incredible. How do I get the purest quality? How do I get the best quality? How do I make sure it's the cleanest? How do I make sure it's not contaminated? Some stuff you take, it just makes you feel worse. Some stuff you take, it tastes like crap. Some stuff you take, it's not natural. It's not organic. This stuff grown, manufactured, made in America. And I've given it to my family. I've given it to my friends, people who are on the show. We're given this, and they're like, this stuff is amazing, and we keep giving it to people. And I just kind of put a droplet, hold it there. If I have some like inflammation in my mouth, I put it where the inflammation is. And I love this stuff. It helps me out. I'm very happy I have it. I'm going to try to restock to make sure we don't sell out. Hopefully we still are able to get it. But even Donald Trump released a full-on video talking about how great CBD is and how awesome it is. And now there might be a banning of it under this administration. As of course, there's new legislation proposed. So get it while it's still available. Again, it doesn't get you high. It doesn't make you feel weird. It really has been the biggest game changer, especially when it comes to calming down my nervous system, relaxing me, chilling me out, and putting me in a moment of calm. That's why we called it Take Calm. TakeCalm.com. Link is down in the description. Click it. Get it while supplies last, while the government still hasn't made it illegal. Now, here's the reporting from Fox News about the CIA taking the MK Ultra files away from Tulsi Gabbard.
Assassination and MK Ultra, the CIA mind control operation, which she was in the process of declassifying. Today's whistleblower said it during his deposition, and Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna confirmed it moments ago.
The reason why this is troubling is, A, there was an executive order that the president had directed the full declassification of JFK, but then also to the MK Ultra files. The CIA famously has said that, you know, all documents were released and
they were not, and they covered up a lot of stuff that they probably did to children.
Other documents had been destroyed, so these are allegedly those documents that apparently never existed.
Can the CIA...
Yeah, they never existed. Oh, we got to take them back. What was in those files? We don't know.
Overrule the president?
No, the CIA cannot overrule the president. The CIA cannot even overrule the director of national intelligence.
Now, the CIA operates through private entities and private corporations that, of course, are exempt from Freedom of Information Act requests. And they have a lot of secret black budgets and money going to a lot of programs that, of course, the general public gets no oversight and transparency and accountability for ever, as their program probably is still continued and might potentially be even revolving around what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, in my own personal theoretical opinion.
In 1975, the Church Committee, which became the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, specifically ordered DCI William Colby to release all of the MK Ultra files. He famously went back to CIA headquarters and ordered that all of the files be destroyed. 85% of them were destroyed. He was held in contempt of Congress, and then CIA employees lined the halls and contributed cash to pay for the fine that he was ordered to pay. We only know what we know about MK Ultra because of the 15% of the files that weren't destroyed. These are among those 15% of the files. They are mandated to be declassified. The American people have a right to know what is in these files, and the CIA can't raid offices, least of all the offices of the Director of National Intelligence. It's just, real life isn't supposed to work this way. This is crazy.
Now, it wasn't a raid. They supposedly gave files and then took them back.
This is something out of a movie.
Now, this is important in context because what we still know about MKUltra is appalling, right? Even the History Channel, history.com. The CIA is appalling human experiments with mind control. And there was a lot of victims. There was no accountability. It was a rogue intel agency that did absolutely horrible, illegal, Vought-like in the boys experimentation that they were never really held accountable for. So why would they stop, especially when it comes to topics of mind control that probably have been universally implemented now? The Daily Mail has this article, CIA secret mind control horrors exposed as new claims of torturers torturing Americans emerge. Yeah, that's how they split the personalities. A secret CIA program that experimented on unwitting Americans has once again been thrust into the spotlight, with lawmakers hearing chilling allegations of drugging, psychological torture, and deadly human experimentation. Several congressional officials convened on Capitol Hill on Tuesday to hear testimony about Project MKUltra, the notorious Cold War program that sought to develop techniques for interrogation, brainwashing, and mind control. That's how they believe that they got a lot of people to do their kind of dirty work. There's a lot of stuff with JFK that is kind of mirrored with a lot of associations here that a lot of people connect the dots on with what happened to JFK. As now, through these committee hearings, we're finding out that this program could still be active in conducting experiments on Americans, according to the latest testimony. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? The Daily Mail writes, bombshell testimony warns CIA MKUltra mind control program may still be experimenting on America. How are they doing it now? They're probably just picking out some random people and doing some weird experiments with them, kidnapping them. There's probably social media manipulation, as of course In-Q-Tel, CIA-linked type of venture fund, helped out Facebook. Facebook now doing psychological experiments on changing and altering the moods of people based on what they decide to show them in the timeline. Another Daily Mail article. Bombshell claims raises fears CIA secret mind control program is still experimenting on Americans. Yeah, why wouldn't it be, right? Especially when you have such an agency that now has proxies, now has, of course, other funds. Now, especially with the development of AI, you think a government that has been doing all this crazy, wild, insane, unethical, illegal stuff that they were never, ever were held accountable for, you think they're now, like, accountable? Congressman Eric Burleson, who has been speaking a lot of big truths lately, came out and said this during the hearing.
One of the most shocking things that we've determined is the Operation Midnight Climax that occurred in the early 1950s, 60s, where the CIA had safe houses. Dr. Kinzer, obviously this is extremely disturbing behavior that was happening, where you had American citizens who were being lured into these brothels and then dosed with an hallucinogenic and then filmed during their sex acts. Was there anyone prosecuted for these crimes?
No, there have been no prosecutions.
That's how they get a lot of extortion. And a lot of powerful people now. A lot of the massage parlors are like secret places, and they have surveillance cameras set up. Foreign governments also do that too.
For any crime
The Russians, Chinese.
related to MK
Fang Fang!
Ultra, as far as I know.
Yeah. Yeah, CIA. Oh, yeah, we're going to dose people with LSD and then set up a brothel. Sounds legit. As Congressman Tim Burchett, also another brave member of Congress, who's hinting at free energy potentially being released soon, with the alien disclosures, came out and says that the CIA lied to us about MK Ultra. What are they lying to us about now?
For 5 minutes.
It's not them; it's the proxy offshoots.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Thank you all for being here. I remembered when all the talk about MK Ultra broke, and then they were talking about lawsuits, and there were lawsuits, and the CIA and the federal government said that this didn't exist, and then they came back and said, well, it does exist, and then, but we're not doing it anymore. I guess my question to y'all
Yeah, sure. Trust us. Why?
first is, which lie do we believe? Because, thank you. Obviously, there was an open bar before this thing started, so thank y'all. But Dr. Kinzer? Hit your mic, brother. You're not on the mic. It's an old CIA trick. I'm just kidding.
I put myself in the place of one of those senior CIA officers, and I'm thinking to myself, like the ones back in the 1950s, well, other people must be doing this. We'd be falling behind if we don't do it. And nobody's looking over our shoulders. And that, I think, is your job. So I think there is a definite air of urgency and total secrecy. If any current research is going on, and if it's conducted in any comparable level of secrecy to the original MK Ultra, it's very deeply secret.
But one thing you said, though, it's going to be hard for Congress to act when they're so dadgum compromised.
Yep, especially when Tulsi Gabbard literally has files yoinked from her office. Now, I thought this statement from journalist and author Stephen Kinzer, I'm not going to play his full opening statement, but the end of his statement kind of hints at the possibility of this still going on here, which I think is the biggest revelation of them all.
That mind control is a myth. But whether it's still true is uncertain.
They probably were able to achieve it.
And that question of whether mind control might now be possible under our new circumstances is something that has presumably occurred to scientists who work for secret services, including our own. This task force has a chance to connect the past to the future. A renewed effort to find MK Ultra documents from the 1950s and to fill out the redactions of those that have been released might shed new light on how the CIA operated during that period. It could also inform a new inquiry into whether any mind control projects are now underway inside the U.S. security apparatus. That might help prevent the emergence of a 21st century MK Ultra that could be even more destructive than the original.
It's being done with AI now, right? Now, again, a lot of this was called the conspiracy theory. What? The CIA having mind control? Get out of here. As one expert today, Mr. O'Neill, came out and spoke, and he was an expert witness, and he described how Jack Ruby and Charles Manson were MK Ultra assets. Yep, you heard that correctly. Now, who was Jack Ruby? Jack Ruby was the person that assassinated Lee Harvey Oswald, the same guy who talked about.
Nobody said what? Sir? You have. Nobody said what? Okay, we can't hear you back. Okay. What did you do in Russia?
Right. Again, Joe Rogan recently came out and talked about how this whole Kennedy assassination reeks of a conspiracy, how an MK Ultra handler visited Jack Ruby in jail, and then he went insane. Countless witnesses says that he died mysteriously. The Warren Commission was horse-ish. And he kind of described here how a lot of this was involving a lot of these top government agencies that clearly ran a major cover-up effort of what really happened at JFK that we still don't know about, that Trump promised to release all the documents of, that we still have not yet had. Charles Manson, being an MK Ultra guy, a cult leader, a musician, who murdered a bunch of people in LA. No surprise there. As of course, that's what they do. And mind control them, and then you mind control them to assassinate and take people out and to murder them. Did that happen in Butler? Is that why this situation is so strange? Now imagine what the CIA is doing with their offshoots and proxies now with artificial intelligence and mind control and manipulating the comments and manipulating celebrities and manipulating the discourse. That's one reason out of many reasons why now when I think about that stuff too much, I take calm and I relax and I'm like, well, at least it's good to know about this stuff. If you agree, share this video. Still a lot more to uncover. We're only still scratching the surface. There's still a bigger layer of truth here that we have not yet been exposed to. We deserve the truth. If you agree, share this video. Thank you so much for going to takecalm.com. I want to be here for you guys doing that. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. All here exclusively on youtube.com/WeAreChange.